Family, watch this word. In Matthew chapter 14, we see that Jesus is walking on water. Now come on, we all know the story. The disciples were in the boat and they're terrified. They think that they see a ghost. But then Jesus speaks, "Take heart, it is I, do not be afraid." But watch what Peter says. Peter says, "Lord, if it is you, then command me to come to you on the water." And Jesus says one word. Now pay attention, this is important. Peter didn't move on emotion, he moved on one word from Jesus. Now Peter steps out of the boat, and for a moment, he's doing the impossible. He is walking on water, and not because of his strength, but because he trusted in the one who called him. But pay attention, the text says that he began to see the winds and the waves, and he was afraid, and then he began to sink. Now pay attention, Peter didn't sink in disobedience. Hear me, he sank in the middle of obedience. See, he was exactly where Jesus told him to be, and he still started going under. Now this destroys the idea that if I'm in God's will, everything else will feel steady. No, we see in the text that you can be in perfect obedience and still feel unstable. Because the foundation was never the water, it was Jesus. If he called you, your security is in him and not in your surroundings. See, the moment Peter shifts his focus from Jesus to the waves, his fear replaces his faith and he sinks. See, a lot of us know God is good and we believe in God. We have a strong faith in God. But our eyes testify against us. Because though we know what God has said, we look at the circumstances of life. And like Peter, we get scared. And we don't remember that when Jesus called us to come, he was with us. And he's still with you. But hear me, Jesus doesn't watch him drown. We see in the text that immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and pulled out Peter. Immediately. It wasn't after Peter proved something. And it wasn't after Peter got himself together. But right when he cried out, "Lord, save me." And Jesus grabs him and says, "Oh, you of little faith, why did you doubt?" Hear me, Jesus doesn't rebuke him for stepping out. He corrects what happened after he stepped out. See, the issue wasn't that Peter got out of the boat. The issue was that he took his eyes off of Christ. Here's the truth. You can obey God and still face moments where everything around you looks unstable, looks like it's falling apart, looks like you're doing something wrong, even though you know that you're obeying the word that God has given you. But hear me, your stability was never in your surroundings, but it was always in the one who called you. If he told you to do something, you can trust that he will be with you. It doesn't mean that what he told you to do will be easy. And it doesn't mean that you will always understand. And it doesn't mean that you won't face trials. But it does mean that when you do, he is with you. And you will not go through it alone. So when you feel like you're sinking in life and things are going wrong, don't panic. Call on the name of the Lord just like Peter. Because the same Jesus who called you out is the same Jesus who will hold you up.